Just as Elon Musk's ambitious space ventures appeared poised for major breakthroughs, SpaceX has been grappling with a string of high-profile setbacks, casting a shadow over its aggressive development timelines. Recent reports from June 19 and 20, 2025 highlight a particularly challenging period for the aerospace giant, with multiple incidents involving its Starship rockets. CNN reported on Thursday, June 19, that Elon Musk's SpaceX rockets keep blowing up at the worst possible time, a sentiment echoed by other major news outlets. This general observation was swiftly followed by more specific details. Later that same day, the Washington Post detailed that a SpaceX Starship exploded on its test stand, a critical incident that underscores the inherent risks in pushing the boundaries of rocket technology. Reuters further elaborated on Friday, June 20, noting that this Starship rocket explosion represents a significant setback to Musk's Mars mission. These incidents, occurring within a tight time frame, are more than just isolated technical failures. They represent considerable hurdles for SpaceX's overarching ambitions. The Starship, central to Musk's vision, is designed to be a fully reusable transportation system capable of carrying both crew and cargo to Earth orbit, the Moon, and ultimately Mars. Each explosion, particularly those occurring on a test stand, points to complex engineering challenges that must be meticulously resolved before the vehicle can be deemed flight-ready for its audacious missions. While iterative testing and even failures are an acknowledged part of cutting-edge aerospace development, a philosophy SpaceX has historically embraced, the frequency and high-profile nature of these recent events raise questions about the pace of development and the pressure to meet increasingly aggressive deadlines. The immediate impact of these setbacks is likely to be felt in schedule delays. The Mars mission, a long-term aspiration for Musk, relies heavily on the Starship's successful development and operational readiness. Any significant technical hurdles translate directly into postponed timelines and potentially increased development costs. Beyond the Mars dream, Starship is also crucial for deploying the next generation of SpaceX's Starlink internet satellites, which require the massive payload capacity of the Super Heavy Lift vehicle. Delays here could impact the global rollout of Starlink services and the company's revenue streams. Furthermore, such incidents can influence investor confidence and public perception, though SpaceX has generally demonstrated resilience in the face of previous challenges. The company's unique approach to rapid prototyping and learning from failures has been a hallmark of its success, but repeated high-visibility explosions test the limits of even this philosophy. Looking ahead, SpaceX will undoubtedly conduct thorough investigations into the root causes of these explosions, leveraging its extensive data and engineering expertise to identify and rectify issues. The path to making humanity a multiplanetary species, or even just establishing a robust lunar presence, is fraught with immense technical difficulties. These recent incidents serve as a stark reminder of the unforgiving nature of space exploration. While they present formidable challenges, they also represent opportunities for critical learning and refinement. The coming months will be crucial for SpaceX to demonstrate its ability to overcome these latest hurdles, refine its Starship design, and reaffirm its trajectory towards its ambitious goals, proving once again that the journey to the stars is paved with both triumphs and explosive lessons. The Department of Government Efficiency DOGE, an initiative championed by billionaire Elon Musk, has been a subject of intense scrutiny and debate, and recent developments suggest its influence is now expanding to state-level governance, albeit with similar controversies. While Musk's tenure at the helm of the federal DOGE has concluded, leaving behind a trail of questions regarding its efficacy and impact, states like Florida are now modeling their own versions, granting unprecedented powers to scrutinize local government operations. A former federal DOGE employee speaking on NPR's Morning Edition recently offered a candid account of his time working for the operation under Elon Musk. The unnamed individual shed light on what was or wasn't accomplished by the Department of Government Efficiency, a body created with the stated aim of streamlining federal operations. This insider perspective arrives as critics continue to dissect Musk's leadership, which some like Daily Kos have characterized as a reign of terror that left behind significant damage. One notable claim from the federal DOGE, widely publicized during Musk's leadership, was the supposed uncovering of $382 million in unemployment fraud. However, this assertion quickly came under fire with reports from El Adelantado de Segovia indicating that this information was already on record, with the Department of Labor raising questions about the true investigative prowess and transparency of the federal DOJ. The period also saw a federal employee purge, which critics argue contributed to chaos rather than efficiency, impacting thousands, including veterans like an Orlando Marine vet. Amidst this backdrop, Florida is forging its own path with a state-level DOJ task force created in February and explicitly modeled after its federal counterpart. In a swift and largely unvetted legislative maneuver, Florida lawmakers approved a last-minute addition to a budget bill granting the Governor's Office of Policy and Budget, which oversees the DOJ team, the power to fine cities and counties up to $1,000 daily. This unprecedented authority allows the state to demand access to local government's data systems, personnel, and buildings in its pursuit of financial waste, and notably to target diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives inconsistent with law. Brian Wright, a spokesman for the governor's office, articulated the state's intent, stating, "We look forward to using this additional authority to identify and eliminate waste at all levels of government." The penalty provision is a mechanism considered in the event of non-compliance with state law. However, the move has ignited fierce opposition. Senator Carlos Guillermo Smith, a Democrat from Orlando, voiced strong concerns during a floor speech. Drawing parallels to the federal experience, "We are looking at a state-level version now of the disaster that we saw on the federal government. Does this mean that the governor is going to send a bunch of 20-something-year-old bros who have no experience into local cities and counties?" Critics also highlight the minimal vetting the provisions received from lawmakers, a point of contention given the sweeping new powers. The new legislation requires local governments receiving state funding to provide requested information, including contracts, grants, job descriptions, employee training materials, budgets, and audits, within 7 business days or face fines. While Floridians already have extensive access to such documents through public records laws, the new provisions introduce a direct penalty mechanism. Fines would require a 3/4 vote from the Administration Commission, composed of the governor and the Florida cabinet. Supporters like Senator Jason Pizzo, a Democrat turned independent, argue that increased scrutiny is necessary, citing examples of cities blowing untold amounts of money on really stupid things. He added, "As some of my very astute mayors said to me, those of us who don't have larceny in our heart have nothing to worry about." Currently, about 40 cities and 40 counties are voluntarily cooperating with Florida's DOJ team, with some even forming their own local teams. Earlier this year, Governor DeSantis took the unusual step of demanding all local governments report any financial problems. The state DOJ team has also extended its review to university research and grants, specifically scrutinizing an $800,000 federal grant to the University of West Florida for teacher training that mentions social justice and culture responsiveness, terms that have become flashpoints in conservative critiques of diversity initiatives. This efficiency push aligns with DeSantis's broader agenda, including his desire to abolish property taxes, a significant revenue source for local governments, by placing a measure on the 2026 ballot. Local officials in Central Florida generally affirmed their commitment to transparency. Orlando City spokeswoman Ashley Papagni stated the city would assist anyone seeking access to public records, while Orange County Commissioner Mayra Uribe welcomed the additional scrutiny, viewing it as a perfect opportunity to look internally to make sure we were being as cost-efficient as we could in every aspect. However, critics like Representative Anna Escamani, an Orlando Democrat and mayoral candidate, remain wary, having voted against the new state powers. She believes these powers will allow the governor to investigate, fine, and punish local governments, echoing concerns that the federal efforts caused chaos rather than efficiency. As the federal DOJ transitions post-Musk and the Florida iteration gains momentum, the debate over government efficiency, oversight, and accountability is set to intensify. The balance between streamlining operations and potentially overstepping local autonomy, coupled with concerns over political motivations behind such initiatives, will undoubtedly shape the future landscape of governance at both federal and state levels. The coming months will likely reveal whether these DOGE endeavors truly yield the promised efficiencies or instead become new battlegrounds in the ongoing struggle over power and transparency. Tesla, once the undisputed titan of the electric vehicle market, finds itself navigating turbulent waters, grappling with declining sales, public backlash, and the complex realities of groundbreaking technology. In a concerted effort to regain momentum and recalibrate its market position, the company has simultaneously unveiled a more accessible version of its popular Model Y and initiated the highly anticipated, albeit limited, rollout of its robotaxi service. These twin strategies underscore a pivotal moment for the automaker as it strives to reignite consumer interest and validate its long-term autonomous ambitions. The launch of a new, cheaper iteration of the Model Y on May 6 in the United States is a clear tactical response to what has been Tesla's worst sales performance in 3 years. Priced at approximately $44,990, the new long-range rear-wheel drive Model Y could see its effective cost drop to $37,490 for eligible buyers when factoring in federal tax credits for electric vehicles. This more affordable entry point, offering a commendable 357 miles of range and a 0 to 60 miles per hour acceleration in 5.4 seconds, is designed to appeal to a broader segment of the market, with deliveries expected to commence in the coming weeks. However, this move comes amidst a significant erosion of public trust, fueled by growing protests against CEO Elon Musk and his perceived political affiliations, which have prompted boycotts among American car buyers. The negative sentiment isn't confined to the U.S. Reuters reported on May 6 that Tesla's new car sales plummeted by 62% year-over-year in Britain and 46% in Germany, despite a general increase in EV demand within those markets. This stark data highlights the urgent need for Tesla to flip fortunes, as USA Today noted, by addressing both pricing and perception challenges. Concurrently, Tesla is taking its first tangible steps into the future of urban mobility with the debut of its long-promised robotaxi service in Austin, scheduled for June 22. Yet the initial rollout appears notably conservative, contrasting sharply with the grand visions often painted by CEO Elon Musk. Reports from Engadget citing the Financial Times indicate that the service will launch with a mere 10 cars, deliberately avoiding the city's most challenging intersections. This cautious approach suggests an acknowledgement of the technical complexities and regulatory scrutiny surrounding autonomous vehicles. Analysts, as reported by the New York Times, anticipate that early access will be restricted to company employees or invited guests, with wider public availability potentially months away. A crucial aspect of this deployment involves remote operators who will reportedly have the capability to intervene and take control of the vehicle should issues arise, ensuring the cars reach their destinations safely. While Musk has long championed the idea that autonomous transport could become as ubiquitous and affordable as mass transit while being safer than human-driven vehicles, the path to achieving this vision remains fraught with obstacles. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is currently investigating Tesla for autonomous driving-related crashes, and the company has reportedly blocked Austin from releasing its robotaxi records, raising questions about its confidence in the full self-driving system's current capabilities. As Tesla navigates this dual strategy of market accessibility and technological pioneering, the coming months will be critical. The success of the cheaper Model Y will hinge on its ability to reverse sales declines and mend its public image, while the robotaxi rollout will be a closely watched litmus test for the viability and safety of its autonomous technology. The confluence of these challenges and ambitious endeavors positions Tesla at a fascinating juncture, poised to either reaffirm its innovative leadership or further contend with the realities of a rapidly evolving and increasingly competitive automotive landscape. The ambitious quest to make humanity a multiplanetary species faced another fiery setback this week as SpaceX's colossal Starship rocket exploded during a test in Texas, casting a fresh shadow over Elon Musk's audacious timelines for lunar and Martian missions. The dramatic incident captured on video as a massive fireball erupted at the Starbase launch site marks the latest in a series of highly public anomalies for the next-generation launch system. On Wednesday night, June 18, 2025 at approximately 11 p.m. Universal Time Coordinated, the Starship experienced a major anomaly while on the test stand preparing for what would have been its 10th flight test. Reports from AP News and CBS News confirmed the explosion with video footage from monitoring company LabPadre showing at least two major detonations, one near the rocket's nose and another on its left side. SpaceX quickly assured the public that a safety-clear area had been maintained and all personnel were safe and accounted for, with no hazards posed to nearby communities. Preliminary indications from SpaceX founder Elon Musk suggest the explosion may have been triggered by the rupture of a high-pressure nitrogen tank during the fueling process with liquid oxygen and high-energy methane. This latest incident, reported by Reuters as a setback to Musk's Mars mission, follows a challenging period for the Starship program. The company has grappled with several high-profile test failures this year alone. On January 16, the Starship experienced what SpaceX termed a rapid unscheduled disassembly, scattering flaming debris near the Caribbean. Just 2 months later, on March 6, another Starship test flight lost contact and broke apart with wreckage seen over Florida. Most recently, on May 27, a 403-foot, 123-meter Starship launched from Texas tumbled out of control and disintegrated over the Indian Ocean after a mock satellite deployment door failed to open fully, leading to an uncontrolled descent. Despite these recurrent issues, Elon Musk had previously expressed optimism, calling the May 27 launch a big improvement from its predecessors and promising an accelerated launch cadence targeting a Starship flight every 3 to 4 weeks for the subsequent tests. The recent explosion, however, puts that ambitious schedule in question and fuels further public discussion, as highlighted by CNN, on whether Musk's Mars ambitions are farther than they seem. The stakes are particularly high given NASA's significant reliance on Starship. The space agency is counting on this giant reusable rocket system comprising the Starship spacecraft and its Super Heavy booster to transport astronauts to the lunar South Pole within the next 2 to 3 years as part of its Artemis program. Each setback, while perhaps viewed by SpaceX as a learning opportunity in its iterative development process, inevitably adds pressure and scrutiny to a program critical for future human space exploration beyond low Earth orbit. As investigations into the latest anomaly commence, likely involving the Federal Aviation Administration (FAA), which previously demanded an accident investigation into a past Starship flight, SpaceX faces the ongoing challenge of refining its groundbreaking technology. While the company's move fast and break things philosophy has historically driven rapid innovation, the sheer scale and public nature of Starship's failures increasingly underscore the immense engineering hurdles involved in building a fully reusable deep space transportation system. The path to Mars remains paved with both ambition and the inevitable dramatic lessons learned from the edge of technological possibility. In a bold move that signals a significant shift for the social media giant, Elon Musk's X is poised to transform into an expansive everything app, integrating a comprehensive suite of financial services directly into its platform. This ambitious vision, long championed by Musk, is rapidly taking shape, promising users the ability to manage their entire financial lives within the app, from daily transactions to long-term investments. According to Linda Yaccarino, CEO of X, the platform's substantial user base, estimated at around 611 million monthly active users by Demandage as of 2025, will soon be able to transact their whole life on the platform. Speaking to the Financial Times from the Cannes Lions Advertising Festival, Yaccarino elaborated on this sweeping initiative, stating, "And that's whether I can pay you for the pizza that we shared last night or make an investment or a trade. So that's the future." This expansion includes the anticipated launch of X Money, a payment and banking app currently undergoing beta testing, with a US first rollout planned. Musk himself has underscored the gravity of this venture, emphasizing that extreme care must be taken during the pilot phase given that people's savings are involved. Further cementing its financial aspirations, X is also exploring the introduction of an X-branded credit or debit card potentially later this year. This strategic pivot aligns X with the super app model popularized by China's WeChat, aiming to create a seamless ecosystem for messaging, commerce, and finance. However, this aggressive foray into financial services introduces a labyrinth of regulatory challenges. The company will need to navigate complex licensing requirements and stringent anti-money laundering (AML) regulations across various jurisdictions. This comes at a time when X is still grappling with its financial health following Musk's $44 billion acquisition of the platform then known as Twitter in late 2022. A significant exodus of advertisers, who traditionally account for the bulk of the platform's revenue, occurred post-acquisition, largely due to concerns over content moderation and Musk's often provocative use of the platform. Yaccarino has been actively working to mend these relationships, asserting that 96% of the company's pre-acquisition advertising clients have now returned, and X is soon expected to hit its 2022 advertising levels. Yet this optimistic outlook is met with skepticism from some corners of the advertising industry. Reports, including one from the Wall Street Journal, have suggested that X has resorted to strong-arm tactics, allegedly threatening brands with lawsuits if they failed to purchase advertising. Yaccarino dismissed these claims as hearsay and unnamed sources, while X simultaneously pursued a federal antitrust lawsuit against the Global Alliance for Responsible Media (GRM) and several brands, accusing them of coordinating an illegal boycott. Some advertisers can expressed ongoing caution about the platform's content toxicity, while others reportedly felt pressured to comply with advertising demands, with one individual alleging specific spending targets were imposed under threat of legal action, a sentiment exacerbated by Musk's high-profile political connections. Despite these challenges, research firm eMarketer projects X's revenue to increase to $2.3 billion this year, up from $1.9 billion last year, though still significantly below the $4.1 billion recorded in 2022. Beyond finance and advertising, X is also leveraging its recent acquisition by xAI, Musk's artificial intelligence startup, for $45 billion in March. Yaccarino highlighted how this integration would bolster X's AI capabilities, particularly in delivering targeted advertising against trending content in real time, noting that the platform now boasts double the amount of engineers dedicated to its improvement. Amidst these sweeping changes, the role of cryptocurrency within X's burgeoning financial ecosystem remains notably ambiguous. Despite Elon Musk's well-known advocacy for Dogecoin, even suggesting its future use for Tesla purchases, neither Yaccarino nor Musk has confirmed whether crypto payments will be integrated into X's new financial services. This silence is particularly striking given the crypto community's strong presence on the platform and the leadership's general affinity for digital assets. The integration of cryptocurrencies would undoubtedly introduce another layer of regulatory complexity, potentially delaying or complicating X's offerings, especially considering Musk's past controversies in the crypto space. While X's crypto plans are unclear, other major players like Visa are actively advancing digital asset payment solutions, as evidenced by their partnership with Yellow Card Financial to promote stablecoin use in Africa. As X continues its audacious journey to become an everything app, it faces a delicate balancing act. The promise of an integrated digital and financial life for its hundreds of millions of users is immense, potentially reshaping how individuals interact with money and content. However, the path is fraught with regulatory hurdles, the need to restore advertiser trust, and the ongoing challenge of defining its stance on emerging technologies like cryptocurrency. The coming months will be critical in determining whether X can successfully navigate these complexities and truly realize its ambitious transformative vision. In a remarkable testament to the accelerating pace of neurotechnology, Elon Musk's Neuralink has once again captured global attention with the successful implantation of its brain-computer interface (BCI) in a sixth human patient, ushering in a new era of potential for individuals grappling with severe physical limitations. The latest beneficiary, Rob Grainer of Idaho, a quadriplegic since a devastating car crash in December 2022, has showcased astonishing progress, demonstrating the ability to play video games and control a computer cursor using only his thoughts mere days after receiving the groundbreaking implant. Grainer, who was a dog trainer for over a decade before his accident, underwent the surgery on June 14, 2025, reporting a smooth procedure without complications. In a series of posts on X, formerly Twitter, he expressed profound gratitude and astonishment at his rapid progress. "Absolutely amazing what I can do already in under a week with Neuralink," Grainer wrote, adding, "I can't thank the Neuralink team, the doctors, the surgeons, and all of my family and friends' support. It may only look like I'm doing a couple games, but it's been under a week and I'm already shocked." He further clarified that he uses absolutely no other assistive technology whatsoever than just my Neuralink and the laptop. This immediate and tangible impact mirrors the success of Nolan Arbaugh from Arizona, the first human recipient who, paralyzed from the shoulders down, gained significant autonomy by controlling a computer, learning languages, and even engaging in online games, setting a powerful precedent for the technology's transformative potential. Neuralink, founded by Musk in 2016, continues to actively seek more quadriplegic patients to participate in its groundbreaking investigational medical device clinical trial. The rapid advancements and ongoing clinical successes have clearly resonated with investors, as Neuralink recently secured over $650 million in its Series E funding round. This substantial capital injection has propelled the company's valuation to an estimated $9 billion, marking a significant increase from its $280 million Series D round in August 2023. Major investment firms including ARK Invest founders fund Sequoia Capital and Thrive Capital are among the prominent backers, signaling strong confidence in Neuralink's long-term vision and its capacity to revolutionize neuromedicine. This financial backing is crucial as the company expands its clinical trials, now conducting them at leading medical institutions across 3 countries, including the Barrow Neurological Institute, the Miami Project to Cure Paralysis, the University Health Network in Toronto, and Cleveland Clinic Abu Dhabi. Looking beyond the immediate applications for motor control, Elon Musk has revealed even more ambitious plans for Neuralink's future. He announced that the company intends to conduct the first human trial of its blindsight chip as early as next year, specifically in partnership with the UAE's Cleveland Clinic in 2026. This next-generation implant aims to restore vision to those who are completely blind. Musk elaborated on the potential, stating, "In the next 6 to 12 months we'll be doing our first implants for vision where even if somebody is completely blind we can write directly to the visual cortex." While acknowledging that initial vision through the implant would be fairly low resolution, he painted a futuristic picture of its long-term capabilities. "Long-term it'll be very high resolution and you'll be able to see multispectral wavelengths," he claimed, suggesting that recipients could eventually perceive ultraviolet rays, infrared, and even radar. Akin to a superpower situation, Musk envisions cybernetic implants like Neuralink augmenting human capabilities, dramatically enhancing both intelligence and senses. The profound implications of such technology extend far beyond therapeutic applications. Alexander Wang, the CEO of Scale AI, recently made headlines with his intriguing assertion that he is delaying having children until Neuralink's brain chips are available, pointing to a future where human augmentation might become a desired trait for the next generation. This sentiment, though provocative, underscores the societal conversation Neuralink is sparking about the very definition of human potential and the future of our species. As Neuralink continues its patient trials and pushes the boundaries of what is medically and technologically possible, the world watches eagerly. The journey from restoring basic autonomy to potentially granting superpowers is a testament to the relentless pursuit of unlocking human potential, promising a future where the limitations of the body may no longer define the capabilities of the mind.